applause would help us to catch our breath after that, you know what I'm saying? It's not sincere. It's not sincere. Well, that was Folk Dances by Dmitri Shostakovich, one of the landmark composers of the 20th century. You know, much of his music is intimately connected with the political environment in which he lived. Despite suffering intense scrutiny by the Soviet government, his music succeeded in conveying great expressivity, often with underlying political messages, at times critical of the government, and at other times lauding, perhaps disingenuously, that same government. Folk dances was originally youth dance and was derived from the suite Native Leningrad in 1942. Originally scored for choir and orchestra, it was arranged for a military Russian band, or Russian military band, by M. Vakutinsky, and made suitable for American bands by H. Robert Reynolds. Next, Dr. Martin Elby is a British composer of international standing whose works have been performed and recorded across Europe, Asia, and the United States. New World Dances, originally composed for the National Youth Brass Band in Great Britain. You know, it's big over there. But it was for an American tour in the summer of 1996. Ellerby's version for concert band was commissioned by the Royal Northern College of Music and completed on, get this, July 4th, 1997. This version, which you're about to hear, was first performed, check this out, exactly to the day 25 years ago, April 6, 1998, in Manchester, England, for the annual British Association of Symphonic Band and Wind Ensembles Conference. The work is cast in 3 short movements, which endeavors to recreate the pioneering spirit of the journey across America, the New World, as the vast continent was opened up and its wonders exposed. The 3 dance episodes, that's kind of our theme tonight, right? Band dances. So these are dance episodes, but they have more to do with the symbolism of American and our expansion into the West. 3 dance episodes are symbolic of this reaching principle. The first, Earth Dance, is a vigorous overture pushing out the frontiers. The second, Moon Dance, is an interlude that contemplates the huge distances that needed to be crossed. And the third, Sun Dance, represents the realization of the American dream, rhythmic and full of energy. Ellerby wrote this piece as an affectionate tribute to America and its people. That's you. So now, New World Dances by Martin Ellerby. new music. This is Power to Fall by Elise Miranda Swanson, born in 2001. Maybe the first time we've had a composer born in the 21st century that we featured in this thing. Elise Swanson is one of our senior composition majors at CBU. She's written a piece for the CBU Wind Ensemble titled Power to Fall, and we're thrilled to offer that premiere performance to you tonight. The opening is an intense tango, all right? There's our dance theme, with the same powerful call and response repeated several times by different families within the ensemble. There is a strength in each of the repeated sections as different rhythms and flourishes are added. As the piece modulates multiple times, the power grows more and more. Trumpets give a final call on the theme, and then the music descends into kind of a broken down, slower version of the main melody, and then ends on a more positive note. Power to Fall reminds us that our failures can be a source of strength and power moving forward in life. Power to Fall by Elise Swanson. There's our composer, Louis Swanson. Well, this next one, I think I turned that off. No, I didn't. This next one is really a favorite of mine. I've conducted it a couple times before. I think the last time was 2014, so I'm really excited to bring it to you again. This is Suite of Old American Dances, written in 1949 by Robert Russell Bennett. The piece was originally titled Electric Park, and did you know that this was an amusement park in Kansas City, Missouri, a long, long time ago? This is where Bennett grew up. During those visits, he remembers the popular dances of the era, that is the early 1900s. Here's a little Disney connection. Walt Disney moved to Kansas City when he was 9 years old. Did you know this? His vision for Disneyland was greatly influenced by his childhood visits to Electric Park, and the similarities are pretty obvious, such as the train encircling the park, right? Meticulously manicured landscaping, and 100,000 electric lights framing the buildings. This includes 5 movements, about 18 minutes long. The cakewalk is the first one, and this is a traditional dance from the southern plantations of the 19th century. Schottische, a slow polka. The origins are not Scottish, but rather German. A Western one-step, which is another nickname for that, is the Texas Tommy. And the Wallflower Waltz, so we'll hear a waltz. And finally, rag. So you'll hear a variety of styles. We'll have some images on the screens for you to kind of enjoy as we play Suite of Old American Dances by Robert Russell Bennett. Well, I wish we had more for you, but we just have the one left. That's it. Don't ask for an encore. We don't have it. All right? Sorry about that. I'd like to take just a couple of moments before we play our last piece, though, and acknowledge some very special people. These are our graduating seniors and master students that are sailing off into the sunset after this semester. So let me introduce them if I could. Merritt Kane. Where are you? Merritt Kane. There he is over there. He's symphonic band member. We have a couple of nursing students, nursing graduates, Caden Minyard and McKenna Powell. I think we have a couple of mechanical engineering students, Cooper Smith and this is not the copy. I had the copy with all the majors, and now I don't have it. So let's see. I've got a few music education majors. This is a big deal. Ricky Cassiosi. He's out of the audience. Where's Ricky? Where's that?
Bathroom.
Oh. Ricky would be playing with us, but he had a terrible accident and had a compound fracture in his hand. That's tough for a saxophonist, right? So, but he's graduating, and we're going to miss him. Other music education majors we have in the group here, Chance McDonald, right there. Rachel Garvin, on trumpet. And I think there's another. Jacob, what's your major? Mechanical engineering? No. Oh yeah, criminal justice. Say hello to Jacob Martinez. Education major, Ian Anderson over here. That's all our undergrads, right? All right, we have two wonderful master students that are both graduating with a degree in instrumental performance on the flute. Please say hello to Melissa Blanco. And on trombone, Robbie Ibarra. We are going to miss you guys so much, I'll tell you what. But we wish you well. All God's blessing on you. I want to thank Tony Shute, Pastor Shute here at North Point Church, always allowing us to come and invade their space several times a year, actually, now with all the concerts that we're doing. So grateful for that. And Steve Dahlgren, their minister of music here, what a great job he does, and we're so grateful for him. Where is Pastor? There he is. Where's Pastor Steve? And their ministry assistant, met with us earlier while we were setting up. She was here throughout the afternoon. Finally, I want to say a thank you to my family, because we don't get to have them at every concert. They've been to a lot of band concerts, okay? They really have over the years. So please say hello, if you would, to my wife Kim, our daughter Allison, and our son Justin. And I want to say how grateful I am that some of my colleagues are here tonight. Our Director of Music Education and Performance, that division in the School of Performing Arts, Dan St. Marseille in the back there. He's also our Director of Jazz Studies, so some of these students also have him for jazz ensemble or jazz combo. He does an amazing job. I think I see our flute instructor. This is Mary Opperman. Please say hello, Mary. That may be it for colleagues. Am I missing anybody? Dr. Moon, of course. Well, I'm going to introduce Dr. Moon. There he is. He's hiding over there. We're going to introduce him in just a second. But you can give it up for Dr. Moon, our director of So I wanted to thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight, and all you parents that continue to support us here at the School of Performing Arts, and your students, of course. paying that tuition and getting them here and all that. It's just so great. And so we're really grateful that you came out tonight to be a part of this evening. We're going to close with a very special piece written by Mexican composer Arturo Marquez. He was born Arturo Marquez Navarro in Sonora, Mexico. I'll say Mexico. Mexico. His father was a mariachi musician, and his grandfather was a Mexican folk musician. Arturo, that is Junior, was the only one of 9 siblings to become a musician. He studied composition in Mexico and at Cal Arts here in Southern California. Danzón number 2 originally was composed for orchestra. It was included on the program by the Simón Bolívar Youth Orchestra, conducted by Gustavo Dudamel on the 2007 tour of Europe and the United States. Kind of launched it into all kinds of popularity. If you attended the wonderful performance of CBU's Symphony Orchestra, led by Dr. Moon there a couple of weeks ago, you may recall they performed another piece by Marquez. It's kind of a funny story. Several weeks ago, I had already selected this piece for the wind ensemble to begin, or to align with our band dances theme, and I bumped into Dr. Moon in the copy room, and he's frantically making copies, printing out copies of Danzón number 2. And I said, uh-oh, and we had a little conversation, and at that point, when he learned that we were planning to do the piece, he graciously agreed to switch the Symphony Orchestra's piece to Conga del Nuevo, Fuego Nuevo, which is another piece by Marquez. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. We get to end tonight with Danzón number 2. We're going to feature some wonderful soloists, Natalie Hushaw on the alto saxophone, our nursing major here, Caden Minyard on the piccolo, Jake Martinez on the trumpet is going to blow your mind. You're going to hear from Gabby Vivona on the clarinet, Allison Dinger on the trumpet, and none other than Dr. G. Moon on the piano. So, and again, thank you all for coming out tonight. We're going to end with Danzón number 2. We hope you enjoy it.